Good afternoon, my name is Terrell Henry. This will be oral template number 9, chapter 9, section direct from the sun, solar energy. And for the first section I'm going to start off with today, I'm going to start off with this section, photovoltaic solar energy. And for that main point, I have photovoltaic solar energy is the future of solar energy. And to get into that a little bit, I have one of the main points for that is that it is a natural resource. So for example, fossil fuels are something that are limited. So there's only a certain amount in the world. So once we use all the fossil fuels in the world, they're gone and there's no getting them back, as it takes 100 million years for them to recreate. So it won't be within the human lifespan that we will see more fossil fuels being created. And also, to go along with that, fossil fuels also give out carbon dioxide, which has an effect on the environment, which we believe is one of the main causes for climate change. So where we have this photovoltaic solar energy, where we use a natural resource as the sun, where the sun is reflecting off the solar panels, which is overall powering your electricity. So not only are you using a natural resource, it's also very inexpensive. So for example, if you were to live in a sunny state where the sun is very high, such as Florida, which I'll give another example of this later, but if you live in a state like Florida, you won't need as many solar panels on your roof because the sun's so bright and so hot. So the use of solar energy will be very beneficial to you especially. And so not only are you helping the environment, but you'll also see a decrease in your electrical bill. And for my next section, I'm going to go into solar heating. And I have, for that section, the main point is a useful tool of solar energy is simply heating. So for that main point, I have that positive heating energies are used to heat buildings. So we're able to use solar heating to heat our houses, our buildings, and just different areas where we need heat. We're able to provide that through solar energy. So not only are we using heating for homes, we're also using solar energy to heat our water. So when we're taking a shower, we're able to have hot water through solar energy. When we can also create our own hot water through the boiling process. But when we're talking about showers and different things, you're going to already need hot water. And for my next point I want to get into, I'm going to go down a little bit and go to section Science Meets Policy, Renewable Portfolio, and a Tale of Two States. And for this main point of this section, I actually have as a kind of a question. And the question is, what is the reason that we are not a completely solar energy based planet? So for those main points, I have possibly one of the reasons is simply economics. So economics was a reason that was believed in the past, simply because the use of fossil fuels was way more inexpensive than the solar solar energy, I would better say. So since fossil fuels are way more inexpensive, they're obviously going to be something that the public goes to first, as anyone in the world is always going to want the most inexpensive objective. But there's also something called the PV system, the RPS system, and the RPS system is Renewable Portfolio Standards, and renewable portfolio standards, or the RPS, states that a state gets a portion of its economical energy from renewable sources. So to go into that a little bit, we're going to take two states, like how I was talking about Florida earlier. So we're going to take the state of Florida and the state of Vermont. So just having a little bit of background knowledge about those two states, you would know that Vermont is more of a cloudy state, and Florida, as everyone knows, is known as the Sunshine State. So obviously, your solar panels would work way better in Florida than they were in Vermont, because the sun energy there is so much higher that you wouldn't need as many solar panels if you were living in the state of Florida rather than living in the state of Vermont. So obviously, one would think off the top of their head that the state of Florida obviously has the state of Florida's use of solar energy should be way higher than Vermont. However, that is actually not true at all. The state of Vermont actually has more solar energy usage than Florida. And you would think maybe, like I said earlier, it's the economics. Well, that's not true at all. As I